And when you begin to implement your solution, the problem will not immediately go away. And so there will be this period of time where you're executing a solution on a problem that you caused 6 months ago, and you will still continue to live with the problem because the solution has not borne fruit yet. It hasn't latched in yet. It hasn't come to fruition. And so you have to give solutions the amount of time they deserve to work before appraising whether or not they worked to begin with, which I recommend doing prior to implementing the solution. So basically, when you're about to do something to fix some problem, say, how long do I think this should take before I can say if it worked or not? And then stick to that, because in the moment, you will only incur even more costs, which is why it's so painful. It's like you have this problem, and now you're incurring more cost to try and solving it. And you're still suffering the problem and the cost of solving it without the benefit. And so this is kind of the endurance part of entrepreneurship, is that you have to keep working without seeing the result of your work. And so the easiest way to think about this is like if you were to go to the gym and you start working out and you start eating better, you're 50 pounds overweight. That problem was created years in the past. You now incurring the solution is incurring the problem, you're still overweight, and the cost of the solution, which is now you go to the gym, now you're not eating the foods you like, whatever, but you're still overweight. And so after 7 days, you might think, okay, well, I should stop doing this because it's obviously not working. You have to give time for the solution proportional to the size problem it's solving. And if you don't approach it this way and you ignore your problems, when you scale your problems with you, which means that this is why I'm such a believer in solving the problems in order to scale rather than scaling despite my problems, because then it just makes my problems bigger, hairier, and nastier. And so if you're living in good times right now, you can't rest on the laurels because it's not from the work you're doing today. It's from the work that you did 6 or 12 months ago. And this has been a constant reminder for Layla and I when we go through things. When things are good, we're like, what did we do 6 months ago that is causing this? And if things are bad, we ask, what did we stop doing or what did we add in the past that created this? Too often, we look at today and think that our bad day is because of what we did yesterday, and it often isn't. And so properly attributing where the cause of the solution or problem came from can give you the outsized return that you're probably looking for. And I'll give you this very tactical tip. If you see a decline in performance in a division or a function of the business, it'll typically look like this. So let's say that you've got this division, let's say it's lead flow, whatever, and then it starts to flatten out, and then it starts going down, right? So you notice, right? So what happens is people wake up here and say, we don't have enough leads. Right? And so they say, okay, well, show me the ads this week. Show me the ads last week. So the question is, what happened? Like, where do you go? Do you go here? Or do you go here? Go here. Why did we stop growing? Not why did we start shrinking? And so you have to look at where the delta first occurred, and then what happened what happened leading up to here? What did we change? Oftentimes, it's a who. And here's a fun one. A lot of people think, oh, we must have lost someone key. Most of the times you added someone. You added someone terrible. I'm dead serious. We had an issue where our ascension rates all of a sudden like, I was like, why are ascension, and we started looking at all these different, we looked at the functions, we looked at messaging, all this stuff. And finally, I was like, and Layla brought it up, she's like, let's just look at the month when they stopped going up. We looked at that month and we looked at what had happened. The only change that had happened was that we had hired a new head. We added someone to do the job. And by adding this bad person, they destroyed the function. And like, sometimes it's a how, sometimes you change your process, and sometimes that's the culprit. But a lot of times you added someone who actively is destroying your business.